Your question about our work trying to work on a National Development Index, an idea that came up at the now almost laughable 2020 summit. You feel like embarrassed to admit you're even there. But one of the ideas that did come up within our track was around a different index to simply GDP. So we know that GDP as a measure of economics is highly inadequate. We know, thanks to books like Wilkinson and Pickett's, and they're epidemiologists, not social scientists, a book called The Spirit Level, Why Equality Matters. They map all the OECD countries and the 50 states of America internally on their equality. And they say those countries, and it's true of states within America, where there is far greater inequality, so if you like, the top 20% have 15 to 20 times more than the bottom 20% compared to the Scandinavians, Japan, where it's 4 times more the top 20% have to the bottom. Every indicator, from even how long you live, to mental illness, to violence, to imprisonment, is actually profoundly distorted. Those unequal countries hurt even their rich. It's a very interesting, fascinating thesis. It's not an old class thesis. It's saying even the rich in those countries living in gated communities don't live as long as the rich in other more equal societies. So our National Development Index, or Amartya Sen, who really came up with the Human Development Index, which was a measure of saying the things that matter most are a sense of crime levels and pollution levels, and community connection is fundamental for health. And inequality blows it out, and GDP can say, well, under John Howard, and this was right, even the poor in Australia did better. So no one can complain. What we know is that the rich did far, far better, and the inequality grew so much more, and Australia's not doing terribly well on the spirit level. That inequality, because poverty is always relative, affects health and affects how we think about ourselves in trust and community and social capital. Our National Development Index is having a go at those sort of things, with the Bureau of Statistics being involved. But take out MDGs, far from perfect, but they were still an extraordinary achievement because they have galvanised the world's mind. And each year at the United Nations there is at least a scorecard, and there's measures, and there's traction, and it gives those of us in Make Poverty history something to organise around, because we can hold up the scorecard.